say? Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Shannon Keys. Welcome back to the channel. Looks like today we're going to be reacting to some more conspiracy videos again. Tik Toks mostly, but I think there's some regular videos in here. But without further ado, let's get into it. If there's something you'd like to comment on, just let me know in the comments below. Let's go.
Now that the solar eclipse is over, here's all the terrifying things that have happened since. Right before the eclipse started, multiple people in Texas recorded what looked like a plane or UFO flying behind the clouds and never coming out the other side. It most definitely wasn't the rockets NASA was sending, as those launched during the full eclipse. The cover-up story is that it's the shadow of a helicopter, but helicopters don't move that fast or fly that high, bro. Even creepier is this video of a full passenger plane flying behind the sun minutes before the eclipse. You can slow this down, and had nothing to do with the glare of the sun. There's zero explanation for this. Now it's time for the full eclipse. As the eclipse reached totality, there was over millions of mini eclipses being projected onto the ground from shadows in the trees. And many people must have forgot to buy glasses, as the search results for "my eyes hurt" and "why do my eyes hurt" skyrocketed right after the eclipse. Am I the only one that feels a little weird after this year's solar eclipse? Something doesn't feel right.
Hey, NASA.
That eclipse was wicked. I thought it was underwhelming. I know a lot of people had a ton to say about it, but I mean, I think it was unique. We'll see with everything to come. We'll see what happens, but underwhelming. We didn't have complete totality where I'm at, so.
Some answers. Y'all posted this today, and it says, the moon shadow, or umbra, is pictured covering portions of Canada and the U.S. as the space station soars into the solar eclipse from 260 miles above on August 8th, 2024. First of all, NASA, we ain't even in August yet, so y'all gotta give us some time to get there. But the real reason we're here is because of this picture right here. So this is supposed to be an astronaut on the International Space Station taking a picture, but it's upside down. So how could you be upside down and take a picture that's upside right? Come on now, NASA. Make it make sense. And now we know y'all in cahoots with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk posted this 22 hours ago. View of the eclipse from orbit. So if you was on there and you took the picture upside down, as we saw the astronaut was, how can the picture come out upside right? Now someone flipped it, turned this upside right, and even then, your ass was upside down. So how the fuck could you take a picture of the earth upside right? Come on now, somebody make it make sense now, NASA. See, this is why we be having a problem believing the bullshit y'all be posting, because y'all always doing some weird ass shit, as you can see right here.
Whatever information I come with.
Upside right. Maybe with that one, maybe they just had to flip the picture because they were upside down originally. So then they flipped the picture so that it looked like they were right side up, but originally. I don't know.
Here is a follow-up on this Antarctica anomaly. That's not the only thing going on. We also have a significant event going on the west coast of South America. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. But again, this is the anomaly here that came off of Antarctica. There's a theory that an iceberg may have released off the bottom of the ocean on this part of Antarctica and rose up to the sea surface, causing these anomalies to be picked up by Ventu Sky. Now again, we can follow this thing all the way up into the Atlantic Ocean over the next 4 to 5 days. It's very, very weird. You can see it right here, 83.7 feet. We'll come back to this, but look at what's going on in South America. And I want you to look at this here. This is our National Data Buoy Center. This measures tsunami buoys, big waves, earthquakes, things like that, and it shows us what's going on with our buoys. If we click this one right here, you can see the information is showing that just overnight last night into the morning of the 11th, this buoy dropped over 2,000 meters, almost as if it snapped off the buoy and the sensor dropped to the seafloor. But keep in mind, this is right off the coast of South America. And if we go ahead and look at the wave height for this area, obviously we have the anomaly coming off Antarctica, but then over here there's not much going on where this buoy went off. In fact, it's about right in this area here. We do have a little bit of upper waves here, 10.5 feet, nothing to be scared over. But what caused that buoy to drop out of nowhere over 2,000 meters? That's another thing I don't think I've ever seen before. I'm always checking out these buoys. Every hurricane, every earthquake, I come right here to check them. And now this one is the one right here, right where we just checked the wave heights, which is about 10.5 feet, a drop of over 2,000 meters. That's insane. That's almost a complete fail of the buoy. I'm surprised it's even in event mode and not taken offline completely. But there's some weird stuff going on in the South Pacific and the South Atlantic Oceans right now. Both are very close to the continent of Antarctica. And I gotta say, this is just something I've never seen before. This mass moving off of the coast of Antarctica, possibly a big iceberg. And this is a forecast of waves that are going to be caused by it. If there is any truth to this, this is something to keep an eye on. I think it's something that's interesting regardless of whether it actually takes place or not, because we're looking at the 15th, 16th, and 17th here, and we can't even forecast weather that far ahead of time. So to see these waves in the Atlantic like this probably won't happen exactly like this, but the fact that it's being picked up and the fact that it was seen by this website right here, this dense anomaly that definitely came off the coast of Antarctica. All right, my friends, what is going on? And just to verify, the only earthquakes that have taken place within this area near Argentina was a 4.3 earlier today. Nothing even close enough to cause a buoy to drop nearly 2,000 meters. All right, my friends, I appreciate you all. Keep an eye on the X channel, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
It's another one of those weird things because I don't do too much keeping up with like those type of graphs or whatever you would call that, like that. It's not like a topographical map, but it's a map that shows you what's going on. I don't do that with like earthquakes or the buoys. I might have to start, but yeah, I've been trying to keep up with that little mass that was coming out of Antarctica, but you just hear so many things nowadays anymore about whether it's like people, it's conspiracy, it's just a radio wave or some frequency. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think that could be. I was hoping it was going to be like the Kraken or something, which would just be dope to see. From afar.
Say the weird thing. People are desperately seeking realness.
What if the Girl Scouts is actually just a cookie company that uses child labor to sell their products?
For the first time ever, scientists are unveiling a 240-million-year-old dragon in its entirety. The National Museums of Scotland announced on Friday. 5-meter-long reptile from the Triassic period was first identified in China in 2003, but newly discovered fossils allowed the international team to depict the entire creature.
Probably familiar with all of the crazy conspiracy theories and the media frenzy around Princess Kate over the last couple of weeks. Probably less familiar with the role that Russian disinformation actors played in it, and other hostile nations as it's emerging. Researchers are finding that Russian disinformation actors started to fan the flames of the conspiracy theory, amplifying both sides of the debate, those that were more Kate-gate and those that were more sympathetic of her absence. And you might be wondering, why would Russian disinformation actors even care about this? Core objective of disinformation is destabilization. Destabilize and disrupt people's trust in institutions, amplify the flames of polarization and divisive topics and content, and turn a country's citizens on themselves and on their government. And we've seen this playbook over and over. It wasn't that the disinformation actors started the conspiracy theory. Obviously, the royal family did not help themselves by doing this sort of thing. They helped the content rack up billions of views across TikTok, Instagram, X. They would do things like link to pro-Russian or anti-Ukraine content in the comment. We need a lot more societal education on the role of disinformation in our social media ecosystem. We need to build societies of digital resilience. As researcher Renee DiResta says, if you can make it trend, you can make it true. And that's exactly what happened here. Even large media companies turning the conspiracy propeller, exactly what disinformation actors want. And social media companies, they have a lot of stepping up to do. Imagine the day when you go to maybe retweet something and in the corner it says, originally posted by a Russian troll farm.
Bro, look at these
I think that's difficult. I see what she's saying, and disinformation is frustrating in and of itself. Because who do you trust without seeking out the information for yourself? But then what sources are you using? At the same time, though, that's right along with like when people say all conspiracies are kind of like out of this world, like we're a little too crazy to conjure up. When really there's some really weird things that have happened or off coincidences with certain conspiracy theories that are like, look, how can you deny this? And then the other side is like, oh, that's disinformation. They're trying to keep you distracted from this, but it's like such a bizarre topic with such a weird coincidence with it, But I think she's right. There's a lot of disinformation as well.
A group of fishermen have experienced a bizarre sight from a boat in the Gulf of Mexico. This flying, saucer-like cloud formation forming in the sky off the Florida Keys, looking like something out of a sci-fi movie. Fear not, though, the formation known as cavern or punch-hole clouds are caused by plane.
I'm talking to people at the moment, and this is creepy, but people at the moment who are contacting me, and I've had 3 do it now, from all over the world, who say they've felt an urge to contact me, and they tell me that they've communicated with a blue being that has imbued them and downloaded them with information. And in one case, the person developed an ability to instantaneously understand physics equations, highly complex mathematics. And I've seen them do it.
This is a video of Apollo 17 taking off from the moon. You can see the camera zoom out and then pan up. But nobody had to stay behind on the moon to film this. NASA didn't even attempt to film the liftoff from the moon until Apollo 15. That was the 4th mission to land on the moon. This was the camera that they used to film those takeoff videos, and it was attached to the rover. There's the camera on the rover, and they parked the rover far enough away from where they were taking off where they could capture it. They controlled the camera from Earth, so it wasn't easy. There's a few seconds of a time delay between the moon and Earth, so they had to send these commands to the camera without watching it in real time. They were looking at a clock and not the video. On the first attempt on Apollo 15, the tilt mechanism malfunctioned, so the camera never moved upwards, so the video isn't great. Apollo 16 was a little bit better, but the astronauts parked the rover too close to the lander, so when they took off, the calculations were a little bit wrong, and it went out of frame pretty quickly. So it wasn't until the very last moon landing, the 6th one, that this was finally successful, and it gave us this incredible footage, and nobody was left behind on the moon. And fun fact, the camera actually continued to operate for at least 27 hours after the takeoff.
Okay, ready?
Perfect example of disinformation, because I don't know. There's so many arguments for and against the lunar landing or outer space in and of itself. But what do you think? Do you think they left the camera? I mean, I struggle getting cell phone service, and there's towers like right down the way. So if they were able to control the camera from that far away, I mean, we're not up on the newest version of radio frequencies or whatever. But let me know what y'all think. We land on the moon a couple times and just decided it wasn't worth going back, or think it's all a hoax just so we can win that space race?
Right here, on the border between France and Switzerland, is the biggest science experiment ever built. It's this huge tunnel, over 100 meters underground and 27 kilometers long, running under nearby homes and businesses and farms. And inside that tunnel, scientists put a long blue tube, big enough to crawl through. And inside that tube, they put 2 pipes that they keep colder and emptier than outer space. And down those pipes, they fire particles smaller than atoms in opposite directions, pushing them faster and faster and faster until, when they're almost at the speed of light, they smash together, sending subatomic debris flying off into this massive detector. This underground particle smasher took thousands of people from over 100 different countries, $5 billion, and over 30 years to plan and build. My question was, why? Why do this? Why spend so much money and time to smash particles together in an underground tunnel? And now, why do so many people say that what we really need to do is build a bigger one? The Future Circular Collider new particle accelerator building a bigger one in Geneva, Switzerland, more than 3 times the size and twice as deep. I'm going all the way to Switzerland, to the particle smasher itself, to understand what's really going on here, and to go on a journey that will forever change how I see myself and the world around me.
-1, please, yeah.
I'm in an elevator on my way down to the giant particle smasher, more scientifically known as the Large Hadron Collider, or LHC. It's inside the biggest and most famous physics lab in the world, CERN. I can't believe I'm here. Getting to visit here is a really big deal. Thousands of scientists from all around the world gather here to do cutting-edge research about how the universe works.
We're in tunnel now.
Beyond that yellow door is one of the places where particles actually collide. Specifically, this one, the Atlas detector.
Oh my God. It's beautiful.
This thing is huge. To give you a sense of scale, just look at it compared to a person.
Look how small they are. Those are people compared to this enormous machine. How did you put this in here?
So we can see from down here that there is a shaft above us. If people have the hobby to build a ship in a bottle, it's exactly the same way of constructing. You have to lower it in and then construct it in place.
I'm so amazed that people built this.
This giant underground detector is where those particles finally collide after being sped up close to the speed of light around that 27-kilometer track.
Where is the collision happening?
So the collision happens over here. So the detector is symmetrical around the collision point, and so we're at one end of it.
The detector is big, but the actual collider part is very small.
What you can see in the center is the Large Hadron Collider, so you can really see how tiny the beam pipe is.
Each pipe is about the size of your 2 hands, like this, or about the diameter of an orange, with thousands of magnets running along it that force the particles within that pipe into a space the width of a human hair.
I just accidentally pulled out one of my hairs in order to demonstrate this.
It's like that's gonna be it. The CERN, the LHC, that Large Hadron Collider, is kind of crazy. I guess there's some people that think that they're trying to open. I guess no, I don't know. This is just something I've heard from videos. I haven't looked this up or looked into it, but some scientists thought that they were trying to open dimensional portals, and they were trying to see if something would come through to our side or if we were going to send something through to the other side. Some people think that they're just trying to create a tiny little Big Bang theory to see how the universe was created, in which case, I mean, we would probably be blown to smithereens no matter how far underground it would be. But I don't know. That's another one. Y'all have to let me know what you think. Is it like a demonic, satanic style cult that's trying to reach a realm that's like we probably shouldn't be messing with? Or do you think it's just science doing what all the movies predict and we're just trying to push it a little past the boundaries and we might mess around and open up Pandora's box, you know? But with that being said, I appreciate y'all taking your time. We back at this. It's been a crazy time, and I think pretty much for everybody, but hey, come look for your boy. We're gonna have some more videos coming for you.
Yeah, see?